Good evening from Germany. I'm just taking off my little name tag here and just got back into the hotel room after a long, grueling day with Byron Katie. Um, just giving a moment for a few peeps to file on. Welcome if you're tuning in from replay. If you're a different part of the world and you're just catching the replay, welcome. This is the second day of our 9-day retreat with Byron Katie, and we're deep diving into beliefs and the beliefs that run and predominate our lives, the beliefs that have been challenging us, the beliefs that have been holding us back, the beliefs that have been destroying our relationships, beliefs that are disempowering. And the reason why I'm deep diving into this in myself is because this is basically what this community is all about. The art of powerful alignment really comes down to our beliefs. And for those of you, welcome for the new members of the group. My name, for those of you who've never met me before, I'm Dr.Nima Rahmany. I've been a chiropractor for 16 years, still practicing. I just, enrolled to extend my chiropractic license for another year, because I absolutely love being a chiropractor, even though now my full-time job is a coach. I'm a transitional anxiety coach. I help people who are stuck in relationship limbo or career limbo, not feeling fulfilled or connected to a higher purpose, get powerfully aligned so that they can make a greater impact on their families and their careers and their clients and what have you. I have many chiropractors who are in my program. I have moms, single moms. I have yoga instructors. I have anyone and everyone who's a teacher who would like to elevate themselves to be of better service to other people. I help people get powerfully aligned, clearing whatever beliefs that are in the way. And why I'm doing that is because most of the time, as a healthcare provider, working with structural problems, I discovered the main reason why everybody was sick in the first place is because of mindset. And so every single program, everything that we do, if we don't have mindset in alignment, there's no use to it. So I thought I could make the greatest impact just by focusing on mindset. I just want to give a moment and see where you're tuning in from. We're going to have a chance to do some Q&A, but I really wanted to share this really important topic. I had a huge revelation about my own life, and I'm looking at many of the clients that are coming to me, specifically one of my best friends who's going through a divorce right now. This belief that I kind of picked apart and destructed over the last 24 hours, which was a major hurdle in my life, major hurdle that was creating massive, conflict breakdown within my relationships, was dismantled. And I know that you'll probably be able to relate to it. So I wanted to invite you. Where are you tuning in from? I'm curious. I want to know where you're at. I'd love to get some engagement, interaction, so that I know that, I'm not boring the shit out of you. I know this is really interesting stuff to me. I mean, I've dedicated my life to teaching it. So I just really would love to know if you're getting it, if you have a breakthrough, if you have an aha. Please don't hesitate to mention. But I wanted to share, this concept. One of my buddies, and I can relate to this, is going through a divorce. And I asked him, what's going on? He goes, well, she just doesn't appreciate me. She doesn't really appreciate who I am. She doesn't have gratitude for all of the things that I do. I feel like she's not appreciating who I am, and just focusing on what's not working and constantly criticizing me and belittling me and beating me down. Let me know if you as a mother feel this way, you as a wife, you as a husband, you as a partner, you as a sister, you as a brother, you as a boss. I've worked with so many people who have, breakdowns with depression, breakdowns with anxiety. That's one of the major causes of breakdown in relationships, is that feeling that you get where you feel like you're not appreciated. And so what I discovered was that that's kind of the belief that I was running on in my partnership right now, currently in the relationship that I'm in. We are all just kind of like, in the school of the work with Byron Katie, we have this big notebook. And what we do is we go through 9 days of all of the challenges and charges that we have in our lives currently. And we just write down all of the beliefs. I need him to understand me. She needs to be more grateful for me. He should support me. All of these things these thoughts that are running through our mind. Byron Katie's work is very much, a lot of the overview method has parts of Byron Katie's work in it. Byron Katie's work, is all about taking a thought and then chopping it down and dissecting it to its bare minimum and really examining the validity of the beliefs and the thoughts, because the beliefs and the thoughts are, it's not what's happening to us. It's the beliefs and the thoughts about what's happening to us that creates suffering. So I thought if I could help alleviate suffering in my own life, maybe I could make a greater difference in my level of fulfillment. And I saw how amazing it was for me that I decided that I'm going to pay it forward and help others as well. So he should be more grateful. The myth of gratitude, really, what really is it about? The myth of gratitude is the delusion that she should be more grateful for me. He should be more grateful for me. So I'm going to invite you to ask this question that I was posing of myself today, which is, how do you feel when you think the thoughts, she should be more grateful or he should be more grateful? So I'd like a comment. If you put yourself in a position where you really remember feeling that he should be more grateful for me or she should be more grateful or more appreciative of me, how do you feel when you think that thought? And the way that I would feel is I would feel betrayed. I would feel hopeless. How do you act when you feel that way? And you start to resent that person. You start to criticize them. You start to pull away. And that thought in your brain that he should be more grateful, interestingly enough, creates an incredible amount of disconnect and ingratitude in that relationship. And so what I've observed is that when we really dissect that, and with Byron Katie's work, what we do is we take those thoughts and we question them. And you ask the question, if you didn't have that thought, what would open up for you? Who would you be without the thought that she should be more grateful for you? And I thought to myself, wow, if I didn't have that thought, I could be present. This is the big one. Because what happens is when you have a belief or a thought that other person should be more grateful for you, whether, I would think that about my parents. They should be more grateful for me as a son. My clients should be more grateful because I'm so awesome. And when you have that, the impact of that thought is that you start to look in the past and you start feeling guilt and shame for things you haven't done, for things, the way that you've been behaving. And then you start to forward think in the future of, what's life going to be like now? Oh my God, if I live continuously like this, I'm going to be miserable. So you start to project yourself into the future. You start to project yourself into the future of a miserable life based on the thought, she should be more grateful. Is very powerful. And so the question is posed, what would open up? Who would you be without that thought? And what happens is, without the thought, he should be more grateful, she should be more grateful, you could be present in that moment. You don't forward think. You don't kind of future catastrophize. You start thinking about the now right away. And you start to become, what opens up is the potential to be of service to another human being, to feel fulfilled within yourself, to not be needy of somebody else's approval. That's the big one. And it all comes back to trying to win the war of approval, which is a common theme in most of the clients that I work with who start the program, the Powerfully Aligned program, is daddy, stories of daddy didn't support me. Mom really preferred my sister to me. My husband's not, giving me the respect that I deserve. It all comes back to this incessant need that we all have for getting this approval. And what it does is that it takes us completely out of our own alignment. And so the next part of this kind of inquiry, as she calls it, is to turn that thought around and start trying it on. And by turning that thought around, you ask questions like, you take that she should be more grateful and you turn it around by looking at its opposite, like in different variations. I should be more grateful. And you try that on and you find examples of how this is true. And I started looking, I should be more grateful. Yeah, absolutely. There is a list, a laundry list of things that my girlfriend has done over the last 48 hours for me that I have completely not acknowledged. Completely. Boom. Blew my mind. Interesting. Okay. There's evidence for that. What else? I should be more grateful for the fact that my parents are so supportive of me now, and really wanting my fulfillment. They've really made a switch and a shift from really imposing their values on me to sitting back and watching and seeing and asking, does this make you happy? If it does, great. I should be more grateful of that. And in that moment, when I have the belief that they should be more grateful for me, I'm neglecting the obvious reality that I should be more grateful in that moment. And another variation of that turnaround is to take that belief, she should be more grateful for me, and to turn it around. Another variation, she should not be more grateful for me, and to sit down and try that on and look for examples of why that's actually true. It's very, very humbling. It's extremely humbling. And what it forces you to do is to start to look at areas in your life where you're not actually being there for that other person. You drop the ball on holding space that one time. She's having a meltdown. She's having a difficult time. And instead of being there for her, I get there and I turn it around and I complain and I make it all about me. And so she shouldn't be grateful for that. Oh, it's like a kick in the gut when you look at it with truth. And initially there's a huge defense wall up because you don't want to admit that. You don't want to, the ego does not want to be wrong. The ego wants to defend. And what we learned today from Byron Katie was defense is the first act of war. Defense is the first act of war. In other words, you can't have a war without a defense of that first attack. And so that just knocked me right on my ass when she said that. And so the ego wants to defend. And when you ask the question, I shouldn't be more grateful. She shouldn't be more grateful. Why she shouldn't be grateful at this time? Wow, I could see many examples of why she shouldn't be. And when I do, it takes her complaints about me and that argument that we had or whatever have you, and you actually have an opportunity to listen and to see exactly the validity of it and to be there and to hold space and to ask, okay, so what can I do to help with that? What's that like for you? And all of a sudden the war, boom, instantly is gone. So it's very powerful. And it was a very, very interesting revelation for me, the turning around of that belief. Then you go back to the original belief and you ask, should she be more grateful for me? And you say no. And basically you get to, as Byron Katie says, love what is, which is really the whole point of it all. The whole point of stress management is to surrender to what is. And I've become an expert in stress, not only in my own life going through a divorce and a career change, but helping thousands of people over the past 16 years go through stress-related disorders. Stress happens when we are resisting what's in front of us. And I've become I'm dedicating my life to the study and the teaching of methodologies that help us dance with the present moment, to surrender for what is, to love what is, and to change the story. And who would you be without that story? She should be grateful for me. He should be grateful for me. He doesn't appreciate me. She doesn't appreciate me. That belief is extremely disempowering, because what it entails within that is this need for other people's approval. And you can't be free when you live in the world of other people should be grateful for me. You can't be free, because your fulfillment is based on another human being's actions towards you. And that's the opposite of freedom. That's the opposite of empowerment. That's the opposite of the highest version of you, which is there to serve others. And ironically, the weirdest thing happens is whenever you have a judgment on somebody else, it's a judgment on yourself, something that you're lacking in the giving. And so another turnaround for that statement, she should be more grateful for me, is I should be more grateful for me. Boom. I want you to try that on for a moment. I want you to try that on for a moment right now. Instead of that person that you judge, he should be more grateful for me. How about I should be more grateful for me? What opens up for you when you take on the belief that I should be more grateful for myself? Huge doors opened up for me when I tried that on, and I sat with it for a moment, and I noticed that, yeah, am I doing my gratitude list? Am I doing my affirmations? Am I focusing on the amazing progress that I've done? Am I focusing on my wins? Am I focusing on the incredible progress that I've made even in the last year? Holy crap, my life has come 180 degrees. And when my focus is entirely on my gratitude of myself, I don't need it from other people. And then when that other person's having a meltdown, even if that meltdown is about me, I can hold space and be of service. Because living in the world of he should be more grateful for me, she should be more grateful for me, totally disempowers you, and it robs you of the opportunity of being there for others. And the funny thing that happens is when I live in the world of I'm grateful for me and I'm grateful for you, I'm showered with love. I'm showered with gratitude. Everything that I wanted on the other side, everything that I wanted from that complaint, they should be grateful for me, happens on the other side of taking on the work myself. And so, was that of value to you? Was that of service to you? Hopefully, that was a revelation that I just made today. I knew it in small parts, but it really came together beautifully. It's the value of really taking the time and investing the time and the effort, the energy, the expense in your own mindset so that you can be better for others. I know I'm investing all of this time so that I can really be better for my clients, be better for my partner, be better for my family, be better for everybody in my life. It's been a very humbling thing. The truth will set you free, but first it does piss you off. So this type of work is for those willing to take it on, to take on the challenge. I really look forward to being in Brisbane, Australia at the end of September, and Toronto in either September or October. We're still finalizing the dates, and we should know by next week. I really love to teach this to people. And I want you to imagine the worst stress that you have that's been plaguing you, the past trauma, your relationship limbo, your career not knowing what you want to do and where your power is. Imagine over a weekend completely changing that story and finding your power again. That's what's available to you with the overview experience. And for those of you who are stuck with relationship limbo or going through this belief, he should be more grateful, and looking at the impact that that's having, I'm interested in speaking to one or two people who this has resonated with, that really want to talk about how these beliefs are impacting their relationships, and they really want to become the cause and the matter of transforming their relationship. The people who would like to play the blame game and blame it on their partner, this kind of work actually isn't for them. I've observed that I can actually make a complaint about my partner completely disappear just by taking on the work myself. It's very powerful. And I want to invite those of you who are actually wanting to get through your block in your relationship. One of my clients just recently separated, and he was stuck, and his wife didn't want to have anything to do with him. They were done. And we just got to work. He just started doing the work, and we cleared some of his delusions or myths, like she should be more grateful for me. She should find me more attractive. She should appreciate, what I got. And a lot on himself too. He had a lot of guilt that he was carrying. That breaks down relationships. If you're holding on to grief, guilt, resentment, beliefs that are out of alignment with gratitude towards yourself and gratitude towards others, it's going to mess up your relationships. And especially if you have one from the past you haven't yet resolved, the most primitive ones, with mom and dad, the primitive beliefs are the ones that you're unconsciously running your life and impacting your health and potentially destroying your health. So if you've been plagued by a chronic illness or chronic pain, consider that you have some beliefs that are out of alignment, that when you get back in alignment, when you get it right, your relationships start to emerge as cohesive, as congruent and in alignment and full of love and gratitude. And all of a sudden your health starts to change. You start to feel younger. You get your power back. You're able to express with freedom and power, and you're able to take the mask off and get real and tell the truth and get vulnerable with people. There was a time when me getting in front of the camera like this and sharing where I was completely inauthentic scared the crap out of me, because I had the delusion that I should try to be strong and a strong and powerful leader. I couldn't show any weakness. And so that really got in the way of everything. So I'm inviting those of you who really are looking towards getting yourselves in alignment with your partner and getting yourselves in alignment with your past, because it's been really haunting you and impacting your health. You only get one shot at life. And therapy, the fatal flaw with therapy and counseling is that, I don't mean to knock you if you're a therapist or a counselor, is that by continuing to run that story, the therapist has a customer for life. Whereas when you hire the right mentor or coach, they're not interested in a lifer. It's just, let's complete this. Let's get this belief in alignment. Let's get you transforming that relationship so that you can get up and serve more people. And I'm only interested in working with those who are going to take this type of work and then serve other people with it. I used to be obsessed with gaining followers. Now I'm really more interested in acquiring leaders, people who want to lead other people. That's what this type of work is for. And let me know if you have any questions. Was that useful for you? Did that resonate for you? I know some of you have tuned on late. Those of you who are tuning in late, you don't know who I am. I'm Dr.Nima Rahmany, chiropractor at heart, chiropractor in my soul. And now I'm a coach that helps people transition through power by stepping up and living to their highest potential by creating a mission statement, clearing their resentment, restoring integrity in all their relationships, and then living free of guilt, living free of fear, so that any symptoms of anxiety through their expansion can dissolve, and you can expand to a greater version of you. So you can be making more money. You can help more people. I want to give a shout out to my man, Chris, who had social anxiety, was unfulfilled at work, broken down relationships with his father and past coaches. He was always just consistently obsessed with getting the approval of others, and he completely beat his social anxiety. He had a food addiction issue, and he, through the program, he dropped about 25 pounds, 20 to 25 pounds, and met the girl of his dreams and got promoted in his work, and now is creating a mentorship program for teenagers, because that was his, greatest vision that came through. And so it's just so amazing to be working with somebody who's been challenged with anxiety, making everything about him. And what we did was do the same thing with everybody, cleared their past story, connected to a mission or a purpose greater than them, and then got to work. And he recognized that this is his one shot at life. This isn't a dress rehearsal. The last thing you want to do is at the end of your life look back and say, I wish I did this, I wish I did that. And by hiring the right mentor and aligning your beliefs, you're able to really find gratitude in your journey, and then have power moving forward, so that you can have the relationships in your life with friendships and family and love that you never thought possible, but it is. Huge shout outs to my clients who are, taking their separations and turning them back into the greatest relationships that they've ever had with each other, just by getting themselves in alignment and shifting beliefs. Are there any questions? Has this been useful? Please let me know. I hope this resonated with you, this whole myth of gratitude, the myth that others should be more grateful for you. If you can remove that myth, huge doors will open up for you. If you can remove the belief that she should be more appreciative of me, and turn it around and really look that you should be more appreciative of you, amazing things start to happen in your life. And I'm so grateful that I have the opportunity to share this and to teach, because I love teaching. And so I'm always ready to teach those who are ready to learn. Anyway, it's bedtime now. We got an early morning ahead of us, and 8 more days of this stuff. Tune in tomorrow at the exact same time, and I'm going to uncover another nugget from my week, and I look forward to sharing this with you. And send me a private message if you have any questions and you'd like to really explore the possibility of having amazing relationships in your life by removing beliefs like this one right here, right there. The myth of gratitude, that they should be more grateful for me. All right. Mad love, and I'll see you at the next perfect time.